Hey guys, welcome to our online portion of our class. I'm sorry that I can't be with you for our first class. I'm actually on a trip, but I will be back next week. We'll be meeting in person, and hopefully I'll get to see all of your smiling, lovely faces, excited to learn about photography history this semester. So I wanted to do a little video and record one so that we could go through the syllabus and really talk about what's expected in this class and what we'll be doing. And there's also a couple dates that we need to block out on our calendars that we'll be doing as activities within this class. So if you have your syllabus, go ahead and look at it. If not, I'm going to include it in this video. And we're going to switch on over right now and take a look at the syllabus. So here's a syllabus. This is online on Blackboard. If you haven't used Blackboard before, it is calbaptist.blackboard.com. And this class will be meeting, as you can see, it's a hybrid class, and it will usually be online on Tuesdays and then in person on Thursday. For this week, we're actually online Thursday, and we're going to be online again next Tuesday, back onto our regular schedule. So, it's in James 356. That's upstairs in James. It's about halfway down the hallway if you're looking for it. This is my email, ahawkrattle@calbaptist.edu. If you ever have any questions about anything, need some clarification on a project, just go ahead and shoot me an email. And if there's an emergency, I include my phone number in there if you need to send me a text. So this class, just like every other class within the design program, is based on a biblical foundation. It's really the vision of CBU. Matthew 28:16, go therefore and make disciples of all nations. So the idea that as designers and as photographers, as artists really, we are culture creators. We are creating what is next, and we are going to change the way that people perceive and see the world. So we want to bring them the message of Christ. We want them to bring them the good news, if you will, through the things that we make. So the book we'll be using for this class is A Cultural History of Photography, and it is the 4th edition by Mary Mirian. This is a great book. It's a great resource. It covers a lot of great movements within history, and we will be reading a good chunk of this. We won't be reading the whole thing. We'll kind of bounce around a little bit, but we will be reading the majority of it, so you will need to get it as soon as possible because you're going to start reading pretty quick here. The course description, basically we're going to take a survey of the last 150 years of photography and look at trends and styles and even technologies that have turned it into what it is today. The course purpose and objectives. We really want you guys to gain a deeper understanding of photography and of design. We really want you guys to dig in and evaluate how you think about the world, how you think about photography, and how you think about what photography does for you. So this class is going to be pretty simple within grading. There are a couple big assignments, and other than that, there's a bunch of small ones. There will be 7 quizzes. It's about 1 for each lecture that we're going to have. Those are about 30 points each. There's a participation grade. It's 40 points. That is basically make sure you show up to class. If you miss too many classes, that'll go down. There's an Instagram grade, which I will talk about in a second. There's a photographer update grade, which we'll talk about in a second. And the final lookbook. That's the big project in this class that we will decompress as we move through this syllabus. So some of my expectations for you, be here. That's a big one, is if you miss more than 3 classes, then your grade will start to suffer. Just don't miss classes. It's only in person once a week, so make sure you're showing up for those times so we can spend some time applying the things that we've been talking about in the online lectures. Don't be late. I know it's at 7 a.m., but try to get there as on time as you can. Mobile phone usage. Try not to use your mobile phones to text during class. We'll actually be using them a lot to take photos and to look at inspiration. But try not to be sitting there and texting. Don't plagiarize. That's an easy one. Just don't take other people's stuff. So let's hop straight into the big project for this class, the lookbook. Now the lookbook is something that kind of throws people for a loop every time we do it. But the idea is that I want you to process the information and give it back to me at the end of the semester. And you can read through this paragraph, but it basically says that I want you to present something back to me at the end of the semester that shows your comprehensive knowledge. And within that, I want to see creativity in the way you present it. I want to see that you understand what images go with what notes. I want to make sure that you have images in there, and I want to make sure that you've included notes from our lectures. So this project is completely open. You can do whatever you like. And with that, it kind of adds a roadblock that you aren't sure what you're supposed to do. So come to me, ask questions, send me an email. It's a very open project because I want you to be able to process this information and do this project in the way that you like to learn. I don't want to force you to write a paper or force you to take a test. I really want this to be something that builds through the semester. Now, the lookbook project is much, much, much easier if you do it as we go through each chapter than if you wait till the end and try to do it all at the same time. It'll take you way longer. So try to keep up with it as we go. The lookbook should be including things from your class Instagram and images from photo shoots that have been taken throughout the semester, which is a perfect segue to talk about our Instagram. So more and more, it's a fast-paced world, and Instagram is kind of the new portfolio. If someone asks you, hey, can I see your portfolio? You don't have time to go home, grab your portfolio. You have to show what you've been doing that week that was amazing and that is inspiring, and have it ready 24/7. So for this class, you're going to be required to make an Instagram account. And with that, you'll fill it with images throughout the class that we take in class, images that you take on your own over breaks, or even images that you'll take on the photo shoots that we'll assign over the semester. So you'll need to make this Instagram and send me your Instagram handle. We'll be looking at those in class a lot, and that's something that you need to keep up with during the semester as we're going. Just kind of take photos that we're talking about, find things that interest you, try to replicate a style, and I'll very much be with you in class trying to help you build these Instagrams into something that you can use in the long run and really get some great images out of you. So next, we are going to do photographer updates. This is something that I want you guys to be engaged in the photography culture. I want you to be engaged in the community. And what that means is following a photographer. You may not know of any big photographers right now, but I've provided a list here for you. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be preparing an 8 to 10 minute speech and presentation about one of these photographers or a photographer that you have found on your own. So what that means is I want to see what kind of styles they're replicating. I want to know what their past work looks like, what their present work looks like, what they're famous for. Reach out to them on Twitter with questions, send them an email, and really try to get in contact with these photographers. I almost want you to stalk them for a semester and see how much information you can bring back into class. Now, these presentations will be near the end of class, but as you start collecting information, build that through the semester so that when we get there, it won't be difficult for you to pull everything together. And that way you will have deeply rooted yourself into the photography community, and you will have found that one person that really inspires you. So lastly is our schedule. Now, this schedule is pretty flexible. We try to stick to it as close as we can, but how it works is that you'll see here the online classes are noted. You'll see that today is online. It is September 10th, and we are going over the syllabus. And tonight, you'll be watching our online lecture about the origins of photography. So how this works is the day is whatever we're doing that day, and then the homework is whatever you have to do before the next class. So tonight, for your homework or before class on Tuesday, you will need to read pages 1 through 13, 23 through 29, 56 through 59, and 78 through 81. Now, you'll probably want to do this before you watch the online lecture because I've handpicked these sections to be relevant to the online lecture. So go ahead and read these pages. They're from chapter 1, and we will talk about it in the online lecture, which is also on Blackboard. It's probably going to be right below this video, right down underneath this one. So go ahead and watch this video like you're doing now, and then you'll do your reading, come back, watch the online lecture of the origins of photography. I try to keep them short and sweet so you're not online forever. And then you'll be taking a Lecture 1 quiz. That Lecture 1 quiz will be about things that we talked about in the online lecture. Now, the quizzes will stay open, so if you're feeling a little unsure about quizzes, go ahead and wait, and we can talk about it when you come into class and we get to meet in person. I'll leave them open throughout the semester so you can take them as you wish. Now, next Tuesday is our online class, and next Tuesday we'll be talking about war and ethnographic photography. And again, your homework there is to read pages 97, 108, 141, 152, and a quiz. And we're actually doubling up on reading this one so we can get ahead of the lecture on the next Thursday. So basically, make sure that you're doing the reading before the next class. So you'll do the homework on September 15th. Make sure that you do that before class on the 17th. And I know it's a little bit of a stretch and that's a lot of reading for that one night, but I promise it'll kind of even out as we go and start to slow down. Now, there are a couple key dates that you need to know in here. The first is this, September 26th. We will be going to the California Museum of Photography. It is a Saturday, and that will be our first trip. This class has 3 trips that will be going on to really get you out of the classroom and hopefully into the photography world. So September 26th, go ahead and try to block that out on your calendar. We'll probably be meeting around noon, and it is in downtown Riverside, very close to us, and we'll have an assignment with that we'll talk about in class. So the second one and as we do these trips on Saturdays, I actually remove class for that week and have you just focus on pulling images from your trip, because I don't want you to be all day or even for 3 hours on a Saturday and then have class on top of that. I feel like that's kind of stealing your time. So I try to offset the in-person class time with some of these trips that we're taking. So the second one that you'll want to block out is October 16th through the 18th. This is an entire weekend, and this is our desert shoot. So the desert shoot is we go out to the desert for the entire weekend, and our class has a very special assignment that they have to do for the class. It'll be for your Instagram, and it'll be for a critique after the shoot. So make sure you block those dates out. If you can't make any of these dates, there will be an alternate assignment, but the alternate assignments will be a little different and maybe a little more difficult. So really try to work in these dates to your calendar. Now, the last big date is November 14th. Again, that's a Saturday. November 14th is kind of the culmination of our class. We take a trip out to LACMA, which is the LA Museum of Modern Art, yes, and Bergmont Station. Bergmont Station is a really cool art gallery that really focuses in photography. So we'll get to go out and see some photography in the wild and really get into the world and experience the culture of working within photography. So November 14th, this is probably going to be an all-day trip. We'll go to Bergmont Station first, and then we'll head out to LACMA after that and probably get some dinner on the way. So if you can't make one of those trips, please let me know as soon as you can, and I'll make sure that we have an alternate assignment there. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. What you'll need to be doing is after you watch this video, after you finish it, go ahead, do your reading for that first assignment on Chapter 1, and then you're going to watch the Chapter 1 online lecture. Now, the next Tuesday, you'll be coming online and watching the lecture for number 2. So our second lecture you'll be watching online. You'll be doing some reading for that. And then you'll have a little bit of reading, and we will meet in person next Thursday. So 1 week from today at 7 a.m. in James 356. I will see you in person, and it will be great, and we will talk about all the questions you have and really figure this out. Again, I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you for this class, but hopefully this video was helpful to kind of get you into the class and get you understanding where we're heading. So make sure to watch that video right below this one, and until then, I'll see you next Thursday. Have a great day.